Hi, so today we're going to look at the past paper, so we'll do the 2018 calc and non-calc paper. First thing to note is all the useful stuff that you have on the first page. So things like circumference of a circle, area of a circle. You've also got your Pythagoras formula here. And just to remind you as well, your circumference of a circle is the perimeter all the way around, and diameter goes from one edge of the circumference to the other through the centre. The radius is half the diameter. So there's your circumference, there's your diameter, and half your diameter is your radius. So you can actually rewrite that as C is equal to pi times 2r, because d is the same as 2r. This is just saying that the square of these two lengths adds to give you the square of this length. If you're trying to find a shorter side and you know a long side, that would become c squared, take away a or b squared, doesn't matter, give you the other one. Okay, so Pythagoras add when you're trying to find the long side, Pythagoras take away when you're trying to find a shorter side. How do we know what's the longest side? Well, the longest side is opposite the right angle always. That's your hypotenuse. And you've got various volumes here as well, standard deviation and gradient. So yeah, we'll just get cracking and see where we end up then. So as always, I suggest that you read the question, pause the video and have a go at it, see what I get. If you get the same answer, brilliant, move on. If you don't, have a look at the working and see what mistake you made. Okay, next one. So first one, let's have a look. So we're going to reject something if they don't weigh this amount. So all that's saying is that, okay, well, 400 grams is our kind of what we're aiming for, and plus or minus 3%, that's the tolerance that we're given. Okay, so we're allowed to be within plus 3% and negative, taking away 3%. So the first thing you're thinking, okay, I need to find what is 3% then. In fact, I'm going to just put that bit, I'm going to work vertically, I'm going to stick this up here. So what is 3%? Well, 400 is 100%. That's our number. We're starting there, 100%. How do I find 10%? Well, I divide by 10. How do I find 1%? I divide by 10 again. So see, each time I've done the same to both sides. I've said divide by 10, divide by 10. And I've had to do the same on the other side of the equation for balance. Divide by 10, divide by 10. So 4% is 1. Well, 12 is going to be 3%. How did I get there? I times both sides by 3. And you can see once you work out 1%, and 10%, you can make up any number you like, pretty much. So yeah, that's me got my 3%. So I now know that 400, I'll do another color, plus or minus 3% is 400 plus or minus 12. So 400 take away 12, that's going to give me 388. And that's going to be my minimum. And the maximum would be 412. So that's your first starting point for that one. Then you're just saying, okay, well, which numbers fall within that or out of that? So let's have a look. First number here, that looks to be a wee bit too small, doesn't it? I'll reject him. And then, okay. That's a bit small, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Just on the money there. Oh, bit too big. Okay. And then just slightly too small. Okay, and just on the money. So you're allowed to use those ones that are equal to, that's okay if they're the same. So what's going to get rejected then? Well, the amount being rejected there's 4. It's been rejected out of how many? We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 cakes. Okay, 4 out of 13 rejected. That's a nice question, that, because I like it ties in with your percentages and your fractions. You've got to think about what's a fraction. It's just something out of something else. So yeah, nice question, that. So you're going to get a mark for working out your 12. So let's just give ourselves a wee tick. You get a mark for working out 12. So there's a tick right there. You would get a mark for this, your two extremes, and then your final mark for that. So the way I've laid it out is actually a little bit messy, to be fair. I'll try and tidy these up as we go through. Don't feel you don't, you can annotate these things. You don't have to just do sums. You can start off by saying, okay, well, these are my limits. It's quite a thick pen, isn't it? These are my limits, and then, calculate 3%. I might do this as we go through, actually. Calculate 3%, and then you've got your max and your min, and then you've got the fraction. Do you know what I mean? You could help the marker, help yourself, try and think about what you're actually doing. Yeah. Okay, next question. See what you think of that. Okay, so for this one, minimum number of weeks it'll take Jennifer to save enough. Well, let's first of all work out what is it going to cost her. Okay, so we need to add up all of these things, don't we? That's the first thing. And £90 a night, we're going to have to do 90 multiplied by 4 to give us 360. So if we add all that up, we should get 1,110. We do your chimney sum, just make sure that you're, everything's nice and neat and kind of in a line. Okay, don't be, if you don't have it in a nice column, you're going to make little mistakes. So make sure you do it all in a nice line. Okay. So 1,110. That's how much it's going to cost us. Now she earns £400 a week, and she's saving an eighth of that. Okay, so we know the total cost is 1,110. How much is she saving? Well, she's saving an eighth of 400. So it's just 400 divided by 8. So that's going to give her £50. Okay, so she's saving £50 each week. And what's her target then? Her target is 1,110, and she's saving £50 a week. So how are we going to work out how many weeks? Well, 1,110 divided by 50. You're effectively saying, 50 times what gives you 1,110. Now, to make life easy, I would divide both of these by 10, and then you're left with this divided by 5. So then that's the same as 1, 1, 1. I mean, some people could do it long division. I'm not a big fan of long division. Try to avoid it if I can. So carry my 1 gives me 2. Carry my 1 gives me 2. Carry the 1. That's why I got rid of that 0. That's actually a point. 0, 0, 0. So what was I? Carry the 1, and that's going to give me a 2. So 22.2 weeks is going to take her. So I can't say that that's 22 weeks, because that's kind of like she saved up enough midway through, the next stage, the next week. So that's going to then give me 23 weeks. I have to round up on that one. Okay. If you get paid, you get paid at the start of each week or whatever. You're not getting paid every single day, so you can't say, oh, she's gonna be there 22 weeks and a fifth of a weekend. So you've got to round that up. So it's going to take her to 23 weeks, just to have enough. Yeah. Nice one. I think I'll start the next question in the next video. So yeah, that was just a little start. And then don't forget that you've got your equations at the front. Very, very helpful equations. Make sure with these questions, you really sit and read. Take your time. You can highlight the numbers that are useful. There's some numbers there. Everything else, the fraction rejected. The question's got a lot of words. Try and get through all those words. And again, in here, we've got she earns that amount. She's saving an eighth. How many weeks? 4 nights. Try and get through the language, and also label up your working. Get it straight in your head what you're thinking you're going to have to be doing. Okay. But yeah, I'll carry on with this question in the next video.